Hello and welcome to, this is second or third, second Thursday in June. Everyone, I'm Jill DeWitt with the Stephen Jeff Patel, in case we're in the public. So in case you're watching us like from other place, we open this up to the planet for just a little bit in the beginning so you can just kind of see us, get to know our Land Academy community, see what we're talking about, and maybe provide some help for you. But this is our weekly member call for in the primary room with our closed special people, our members. So hello. Hey, I wonder if Alice was there on the Thursday call yesterday, because I was able to kind of show up for a little bit on the Thursday call. So that was really nice. Ladies call yesterday, Wednesday. You know what? I'm just gonna stop saying days of the week. That's it. I'm done. I'm gonna stop guessing what day it is in the month, and I'm gonna stop using days of the week. Another day this week, and happy to be here today. That's what I'm gonna go with. You like it? Oh, cool. All right. Well, let's get to it. Um, I thought you were there. Okay, good. All right. So a couple of things as we get into it in case you're new. I think we have a few new people right now. Use the chat for chatting, like Martha, aka Alice, put in here. And the Q&A is for questions. But if you submitted questions earlier this week, I saw we have several. They're going to come up on a slide here and we'll get to them when we close up the group. So don't you worry. That's how we do it. And would you do this deal things you want us to answer? You could submit it anytime. So if you didn't put them in earlier this week and you bring them in today, no problem. We just ask that you try to use the format that we have outlined. Let's see here. And again, if you want to, anyone in Land Academy in Zoom, if you want to go live and have a conversation with us as you're asking your question and do follow-up questions or things like that, you sure can. Just raise your hand when we get to that part, and my team will promote you to that. Let's see here. All right, what are we trying to say? Oh, I'm going to the next slide. Was I wrong? Yeah. If I missed something and you think it's important, feel free to jump in. Okay. All right. So that was it. I was saying too, if you want a camera on or mic up here, we'll allow you to do that. And announcements. Oh, next week I will be going live for our members only chat on June 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time. I will be talking, every month we do an advanced training module for Land Academy members, kind of taking a deep dive into something else, more than what we cover in all of our programs and maybe more pertinent to what's going on today. So again, those are monthly advanced teachings. They're always recorded and put on the library for you to access anytime. So this month, we're going to talk about seller calls. And I just had a really good one too the other day that I came in, I took the call, and I told my team, I'm like, ooh, get that recording and cue that up, please. So we're going to talk about some stuff, and maybe we'll listen to that call. Either way, we'll role play some calls, and we'll talk about, some of the things that I do and say when I talk to sellers. And it will be recorded, like I said. So it's better if you attend live. It's way more fun, and we could have questions, and I can really address things right then and there that are hot on your mind. But if you can't, I understand. You'll be able to watch that later. Let's see here. Here is the would you do this still format. In case you were not sure, you can screenshot that. We have some wins. I love this. We ask ahead of time for folks who always want to lead this off with a bang. I want everything to be a bang, but I want to especially lead it off with a bang. So I want everyone to, want to share and celebrate your wins. So let's go. Let's see what we've got here. So congratulations to everyone here. And if you've got some more, please throw them in the chat. We want to know. So Andrea said, I just got a signed contract to fund a deal for a Land Academy member. Oh,
lots of people are here just to fund deals. So it's a huge one.
First time funding. Wish me luck. That's amazing. Isn't that great, Andrea? And it's great for whoever's deal it is. They got two pro pair of eyes on it. You, the person who brought the deal to you, wouldn't have brought it to you if they didn't think it was great. And you're like, I'm sure if you're like me, you're really looking at this too. Hey, before I put the money up for this, I'm going to make sure this is a solid deal too.
When Jill and I started in Land Academy, 10 years ago? 10 years ago this year, I think, I never had the vision or any idea that there would be such a funding, a group
Component.
funding, self-financing component to this whole business model. It's really worked out well because there's two winners.
Yeah.
There's not just one. It's really good.
Cool.
I'm
Brian,
proud of that.
Yep. Brian W says, I just locked up my first deal under contract at $6,500, going to $22,000 for resale. Yay. Congratulations, Brian. Oh, Natalie B, quit my part-time job. Land is covering some bills now. I still have my full-time job and I'm looking to quit in the next 4 months or so. That's great. But gosh, it took the pressure off. So you were doing 3 jobs, Natalie. You had your full-time job, your part-time job, and land. Now you can took one of them off. So now we have land in the full-time, and we're gonna hopefully pivot that soon.
It's a little bit later. I'm going to talk about the 24-month millionaire again because it was I talked about it in great detail last week. And apparently our staff's saying that every other question they get is about the 24-month millionaire. So I'm going to cover it again in a little bit more detail. But what Natalie's saying is this is part of it. It's a step-by-step process. And once you can, for whatever, everybody joins Land Academy for some reason. But if you can just that's what this is all about. Until you get it gets you where you completely want to be financially. That's great.
Chad K said took 3 weeks off to travel. I made $12,000 while I was in Mexico City, thanks to deals already in motion. Not a huge dollar amount, but I'm still a win to make money while I was away. Yeah. Isn't that great? Yep. I love that. That happens sometimes. You just like have to remove yourself. It'll happen. Let it go. I know it. Price it right, and it worked out. So cool. I have another win in here. Jade got their second batch of counties picked. That's awesome. I'm so happy. And Joseph had a win today. I was talking down a full-blown cursing hate call. We weren't that far apart. I might be able to meet his price. Either way, mutual respect was established. That's huge. Love that. All right. Let's see. Okay, we'll get to that one here in a few minutes. All right. So question of the week. I'm using Pat. This is from Jenna B. It says, I'm using PatLive to answer my phone calls since I'm still working full-time. Should I be calling back every call? I get a lot of hangups and, of course, hate calls. I saw a podcast where Jack talked about how Jill can turn hate calls into deals. Does this mean I should just start calling everyone back? You know what? The best is if you have the time. If you have a missed call, so you don't know what's there at all, I would try to connect with them. I would try to call them back. If you can see they hung up, I know what phone number it came from. Even if it's the next day, I've had great success calling back going, hi, I'm kind of returning a call I received yesterday. The person didn't leave a message. It's probably about the offer that I sent to buy your land. And, oh yeah, I did call you, kind of thing. I would do that. And then the ones that maybe they were hate calls, but you got enough that you can figure out what property it is. Let's just say maybe they called and left a message, or they hung real fast or something. They were really mad, but they gave you, hey, I'm calling about assessor's parcel number 605-21-1234. Lose my number. Well, if you have the time and you don't have a lot of deal flow, I might call them back and say, what was the problem? Was it the number? But I would do that, by the way. First, look up the property, see if it passes all the other A's, then call them. So let's just say, for example, you have this terrible call. This person left that voicemail. You're like, you know what? Let's just see if I even would have cared about the property, because I know where it is now. I'm going to look it up and I'm be like, oh, wow. Look at the access and look at the size of this property and all that. You know what? If they're mad at me about the price, I might change the price, because now that I look at it, it's great. Call them back. So it's hard because when you get going, you could have so many calls, which is really, really good. every call and every phone number and every person that reaches out to you is an opportunity. And I don't want you to push them aside without finding out for sure. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to get to Jack's current events, and then we're going to jump, and then we're going to Jack's current events. Then we're going to go through the questions that were pre-submitted, and then we'll jump back to the Q&A in the chat.
Every week, we look at weekly trending real estate data, just basic statistics to see if we should dig deeper into what's going on nationally and then eventually locally where we're sending mail. And so this is a good, simple, cursory overview of what's happening. What I'm looking for here are huge changes. Like, are the median listing prices really changing week over week? And the fact is, no, it's almost exactly the same week over week over week compared to last year. So median listing prices have gone up 0.5%. Yes, last week they were literally zero. And then year to date, they went down 0.4%. This, in my mind, is zero. What I'm looking for is some strange sweeping change, like listing prices have gone way down or way up or something like that. And if you've been with us for a while, about 6 months ago, 7 or 8 months ago, when interest rates are going up and down, there's elections and all that stuff, it was changing. It's not anymore. So new listings, same thing. 8%, 4%, 5%. It's just hovering at that, single digit increase in new listings, year over year, 7%. And then active, same thing. It's about the same. So there's no real, I don't remember seeing such a lack of real estate news for the last several months, maybe almost this entire year. What I think is going to happen, and everybody I talk to, whether they're in the business or not, is we all think that interest rates are going to go down by the end of the year substantially, maybe even as much as a whole percent, but certainly probably 0.5%. That'll bring mortgage rates down theoretically, and it will get the kind of kickstart the buying effort again. This all means that things are stagnant. People really aren't buying or selling, but it's a great time to buy a property that's grossly undervalued.
True. That's it.
We are, and it sounds like several people are, and I hope you're having that experience. No need to look at mortgage rates. Since I brought it up, let's look at it. They're just not moving at all. It's good to check, but I checked right before the call, and there's just nothing.
It's boring.
It's boring. Exactly.
Yeah, look at that.
How stagnant this has been.
Wow.
This is the beginning of the year. 7%. 6.9%.
Yeah. 6 months of blah.
Jill, you know that saying, no news is good news? I don't agree with that.
Yeah. And not all the time. No, I hear ya. All right. Now we're gonna pivot. I think my team is gonna close up the room here because we're gonna revisit before we get into the Q&A part of this. We're gonna revisit the 24-month millionaire because we did that last week, and I know that not everyone was able to attend. And so I know we have more people that joined today, and we want to see if you have any follow-up questions too. So we're going to jump to that.
A lot of years ago, many years ago, we did a podcast called The 24-Month Millionaire, and then created a little discussion about it, which is basically what we're talking about here. We got into a little bit more detail about the microscopic things that you should be accomplishing back then. But the title is so intriguing. It implies, and it's possible, that in 24 months, you can have $1 million in the bank. And so here's the theory. You get involved in the educational process for land, and you get involved in Land Academy, and you learn. These are months. I hope you can see this, make it bigger. So the first 6 or so months, you're just absorbing as much as you possibly can. If you've got 2 jobs like earlier, I don't remember the name of the person, but this is going to be, you're going to use all 6 months. And you need to just get real organized. And that's not just learning how to buy and sell land. That's just a small component of this. If you're super new at having your own business in the first place, you're going to educate yourself or hold yourself accountable on keeping a schedule, dealing with the spouse that's like, what the heck are you doing in there for 4 hours straight? There's all kinds of things in life that
phones, address, all of that. Yeah.
and really going over what the mailer's for, how it works and why, talking to people in an existing group, hopefully Land Academy. Well, I think everybody's